that's exactly how things function when you are forced into close quarters together and you've got to figure out how to survive together.
You ended up serving 13 months in jail. What was that experience like? Because I do read a lot of books about jails and I'm fascinated about real life crime. What's the insight of being inside that jail?
Well, I think that for women or girls in prison or in jail, things are particularly odd because jails are these incredibly authoritarian, hierarchical, sort of, male-dominated institutions. And then when you fill them up with women or girls, there's a very sort of strange chemistry that happens. I always say that the book is a representation of sort of an odd community of women, and it's strange to think about a prison or a jail as a community, but that's exactly how things function when you are forced into close quarters together and you've got to figure out how to survive together.
And what's the biggest misconception about that survival process? Like someone like me goes, oh, you need to learn how to make a shiv within the first week or you're in trouble.
Well, the biggest misconception, especially when it comes to women and girls, is that idea around violence. And I, of course, was terrified. That first day in prison, I was terrified. Women and girls are incredibly unlikely to commit crimes of violence or to be incarcerated for crimes of violence. It's drug offenses. It's property crimes. It's very low-level offenses having to do with poverty, usually, that put women and girls into prison. So, it's not that you can trust every single person you meet if you're locked up. It's not that, manipulation or, deceit don't play a role, but women and girls are unlikely to use violence when they're locked up. That's not always true. There's very violent prisons out there in the U.S., here in Australia, I'm sure. But that, I think, is probably the single biggest misconception.